Welcome back to The Real Story. Well, it's always good to have a backup plan, right? Well, the IRS says lowest learners' emails from January 2009 to April 2011, which corresponds precisely to the Tea Party targeting scandal, that they're poof, gone. My next guest says he's found evidence that the IRS may have those emails stored at an archive backup site somewhere. It's just a matter of finding the archive site and then going after them. So a November 2000 report, 2010 that is, by the Treasury's Inspector General for Tax Administration finding, quote, the agency has established and is maintaining an entity-wide business continuity disaster recovery program and a disaster recovery program for the entire enterprise consistent with the Federal Information Security Management Act. And finally, the program was designed to establish and maintain the ability for data backup recovery. Vinny Troia is a certified computer hacking forensic investigator and the CEO of Night Lion Security. All right, in plain speech, Vinny, what does that mean?
All right, well, in plain speech, I mean, they've got the backup somewhere. I mean, these systems are designed to be resilient so that if something goes down, they can be picked up again later on with no disruption to business. And that's really the main purpose of the business continuity systems. All right. So if there's a disaster, you can pick up and go. Well,
because they've been saying, even under oath, you know, that her computer crashed, as well as 6 other people who worked at the IRS, and those emails are gone forever and ever. So bring us back to 2010 and what the audit found that year.
So in 2010, the audit actually found that there were some deficiencies in their contingency planning or backup systems. And so there was notices made to say, these are the things you need to fix. And now, fast forward a little bit, by 2011, those items were actually all fixed and all received clean bills of health.
So what does that say to you?
So to me, that says by the time the audits took place, I mean, you got to keep in mind the report came out September of 2011, and so you got to figure there's going to be at least 3-4 months of testing time, another couple months to write the report. So, you know, close to the beginning of the year, they had their backup systems up and running. So those emails were backed up somewhere, and they were stored off-site. Right. So, I mean, it's just a question of getting them now.
So the problem is that you and I don't know where they were stored, right?
Right. I mean, that is definitely confidential information, but I mean, that is something that TIGTA would have access to.
All right. Now, you said TIGTA, and that is the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. That is the group that does these audits?
Correct. Yeah, they're contracted out by the IRS. They're the third-party independent auditor to test these systems.
All right. And by the way, in 2012 and 2013, they also found that everything tested operationally okay for backups. So that brings me to this. How does somebody get their hands on these backups?
I mean, it would be a question of subpoenaing the Attorney General's office or, you know, TIGTA in general to find out, you know, what facilities were tested. I mean, they would know above all else. And then at that point, it's just a question of requesting the tapes. So all you have to do is go in and pull the archives. I mean, they're there somewhere.
So it would take a subpoena to get the records. Well, we hope that somebody, a member of Congress or a group by maybe Judicial Watch is watching right now and may issue that subpoena. Vinny Troia, thank you for uncovering this information for us. Thanks much.
Thanks for having me.